Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hammers Football TV. Hope you're keeping well. Been a while. Sorry, a bit of the delay with. Let's look for that other picture. Let's get us a bit more. That's a bit better.
There you
So, let's see if we can start off with the checks. There's a few messages in there. Good evening, Pepsi, and he's saying it's 1-0 to the Arsenal. Big up, Matt. Hope you're keeping well. Big up, Tony in the panel. Also, Glasner out. And they're saying 1-1. Oh, it's equalised now, is it? Good evening.
Glasner in.
Hope you're doing epic. Good to see you. That's also saying, I think I saw a Billy Goat headbutting a John Deere in the car park.
What's Anthony doing in a car park there?
Makes you wonder. Full titter out. This is great stuff. That's what you want to see. You guys been there. Good evening, Ray. Hope you're keeping well. Sorry it's a bit late. We're just trying out a new platform. It's a little bit kind of new to us. So give them there. Hey, Hot Fuzzy. Good evening, Steve. Yeah, evening, fellow sufferers. Yes, we'll go on about that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm suffering my own way.
I'm going to say hello to there. Matt's also saying, I'm not on the Potter out bandwagon yet, but 3 wins from 14 isn't good. Yeah, definitely agree on that. Good evening to Words and Pictures.
Games.
Well, we could be off Shianj Postecoglou, I suppose.
18 losses.
Not good at all. Good evening, Words and Pictures. Evening all. Good to be here. Good to see you as well. We're all happy everyone's here. Evening, Ammers and reprobates. Good evening, Frog. Matt saying need a big performance versus Brighton and have Albion at weekend for sure. And Hove Albion at weekend for sure. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. Good evening, Daz. Hope you're well. Good to see you as well. Matt's also saying, Frog and a will. What if you're a hammer and a reprobate? That's brilliant. So, yeah, Frog saying Palace have also equalised. Great stuff. So he's saying like the Frog and Pepsi. Pepsi saying late doors football TV was the obvious choice of the name change. Yeah, apologies. Hands up for that, I must admit. Matt saying Palace and Spurs and Hammers all equally as inconsistent as each other. Yeah, there's definitely that at the moment. And they're saying low to each other. Yeah, met a class of reprobate. Saying low to forever delayed Hammers TV. Yeah, new platform trying out, guys. So I do apologise there. It's kind of taken. Just let us know what you think of it. If it's not good, that's Frog in a well. Saying low. Tony's shining his head again. Yeah, it does take a while, Matt. You know, it's a big old bonce. It does take a while to do that. Run out of pledge. Good old pledge. To be fair, Tony's still earlier than our fucking midfield. That's brilliant. Ray saying we've had the least injuries in the Premier League this season. We're lower than down than the list. We might have been going down. I think I've said on other channels as well, though, Ray, and I think we might have said it on Sunday. It's the fact that when you look at, even though we've got to say it, Lopetegui, without him, we would probably be in a worse position. What time do you call this TV? Look, okay, hands up. Look, I'm putting both hands up. I admit to, yeah, it's new. Getting used to it myself, how it looks. Excuse me. Daz, good evening, Michael, please. Evening, Eze again. Good evening to Mama Flossie. Good to see you. Frog saying Fuzzy. I was wondering if you needed a pacemaker fitted after the Leon game. Hope you're good, man.
Yeah, I just went had to go blow my nose, and I'll tell you what, right, it just looked like I basically snorted my brain out, and I would have loved to have shown the chat all the gruesome graphics. You know, it would have been fantastic. It would have been content. Would have probably demonetized the channel and got it forever banned, but
evening, Ian. Hope you're keeping well as well. Mark was saying, great, congratulations to the under-18s Premier League Cup winners. That's how we're out to win. Yeah, great result for them, boys. It's great to see that. Good old partner, Anthony. Talk stream more like talk box. Oh, you still having trouble, mate? Oh, you still having trouble. Damien saying, all going off at the irons. Mass walkout from the players. Yeah, it's not looking good, Damien, is it? Hope you will, mate.
Wait, there's a protest from players. This is news to me.
Well, we were saying about old Fulkrug. His rant on Saturday, telling it how it was. Damien saying, yeah, Potter's doing a cracking job. Did he hear something today? Like, and I don't know how much truth is into this. It's the fact that because the way things are going, the board are now a little bit unsettled with him. What's going to happen?
They're unsettled with Potter? What?
Seems to be. Must be that degree in psychology. Absolutely, Damien. Yeah. Good evening, Russ. Evening, lads. Hope you're well. Damien, yeah, saying hello to each other. Well, good, thanks. Hope all is well with you as well. Russ saying 2 big faces on my screen. Yeah, we're trying to work out why it's so close. Lucky enough, we've both got fair-haired complexions, so no spots or anything to be seen. Big up to 10 men at the back. No one in the back.
Got some horrendous skin on my face.
They can't see that. They can't see it. Congratulations to the under-18s. It was a great win. Yeah, definitely agree on that as well.
If you zoom out, right, this is the secret with Tony's camera. If you zoom out far enough, you'll see it turns sideways and it's someone else's head, and you'll see on the side of the head is Tony's head. He's basically a pimple that's got 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and 2 ears, and wears glasses. The massive head, it's like the Wizard of Oz, isn't it?
It is, that's for sure, yeah. Big up to Tony and the crew. Big up to yourself as well, mate. Is there anything we can do with that? Let's have a look.
Let's see the carnage that is West Ham United at the moment. And then I can share with you the carnage of Man United.
Oh, man. Big up to Ravi as well. Smash the likes up and subscribe. We're just saying, evening, Tone up. You keep them good. No ain't tonight. He's having trouble getting onto this new platform because obviously he's using a mobile. It seems to not entertain him for some particular reason. So we're not too sure, which hopefully he can get himself sorted out one way or the other.
A mobile phone. Only good for adult content on demand.
Late nights.
And that's it. Maybe a Kindle, like a Kindle book or something. And that's it. That's all you get.
Tony trying to give still a run for his lateness. By the way, 200 to go. Oh, they've gone back up again. Jesus, yeah. Drossard. 10 men saying that very close up in the viewing screen. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I'm just trying to work out why it's so close. I mean, what's that one? Like, that's well too close. Whoa. There's that. Yeah, no. He's covering my mouth there. Finally, they've shut him up.
I am your mouthpiece.
Is there anything on the screen there? Sharing it. Standard resolution. Let's have a look if that does anything. No. No.
A part of me wonders if I can connect to the stream on my mobile.
Yeah, see if you can. Give it a try. Hello, Mr. Fuzz. Hope you're keeping well too, he's saying. Anthony, I don't know, mate. It's weird. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're trying this out. See how it goes. Maybe it's a one, but I don't know. Maybe it's because we have to do a computer. Ravi's saying, Fuzzy, can you see the style of football Amrin is playing working with better players coming in?
I can definitely see that there's more there than what we're seeing at the moment, 100%. Because you see a couple of the players will try various patterns of play. And then there's the, I think it's just the aspect of player compatibility, and we don't have players compatible. And that's pretty much it. The only issue we face is that we need we basically just need the. There you go. I've connected with my mobile.
Yes.
Anthony, you skiving. But no, really, I just think it is that this board are constantly talking about, oh, we need to save money, cut costs and everything. And it's like, this is like the last
Aces.
kind of language you use as board directors when you need to spend, like, you need to outspend the competition to sort of make up for the deficit that you currently have between your club and their clubs. We don't have that luxury. So for me, it sort of is an instance, well, what can you do to improve that situation? Selling players to get money. If the loans go well for Anthony and Rashford, there's some money there. Sancho, if Chelsea end up buying him on the permanent, I don't know. They're trying to potentially get out of it, but we'll see what happens with that. And then after that, there's plans talking about transfers and strategy, like Cunha's been linked. People talking about a £40 million bid sent in for Osimhen when his release clause is about like 60 something million. And it's like, come on. We know that's just a spin story. Completely. The other side of it is, well, we're linked with quite a few players that we are sort of like, do we need this player or do we need something different? Do we need something with more experience? Do we need something that's more of a specialty? Because if Amarim's a very particular way of playing, then surely he's got to be very particular players. And it does feel like there's quite a few names out there that we've had tossed around that don't really like look like they tick all the boxes that we need.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the board again looking at spreadsheets instead of the eye test, and don't really look like they're communicating an awful lot with the manager as to the sort of players that we have. And yeah, we're just sort of having to coast along and hope for the best.
Yeah, very interesting, isn't it, in that respect? I mean, obviously, I'm going with Frog's comment here. I mean, obviously, this is with West Ham, because obviously they're talking about players jumping ship. Reckon any player that could or should get out of this club ASAP. Something's very wrong both on and off the pitch, and I think this is the problem with us. Is that in both of our clubs we know are in the mire. Both are going to take a while to rebuild. I suppose if you look at it, you've got an owner or a sporting owner that wants to do well, then try and create something. Whereas if you look at with us, we've got a chairman that wants to do it all.
Mm. Your chairman's like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in WWE.
Yeah.
He wants the world to revolve around him. Which, by the way, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was absolutely colossally fucked WrestleMania this year on his own. I mean, Night One was kind of Triple
Thank you, Mama.
fault, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Talk about a guy with a fragile ego. Whew. You see it in Hollywood. I mean, Black Adam, literally, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was meant to be the villain character that gets defeated in the film Shazam. This guy went out of his way to create the entirely different film called Black Adam because of it.
Yeah.
Like that's the sort of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson ego. He's literally got it in. I don't know if it's a contract clause. I don't think it's a contract clause, but he won't do a film if his character he portrays on film, which is basically himself, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, repeaters like Jason Statham. If his character gets beaten in a fight scene, he is out of there. He's no, I'm not playing that role in the film. Like, sheesh. crazy stuff.
You know why? So looking at Anthony, what you got to do then? You got to kind of download a different browser because your browser is not supporting it. Please
What
don't.
browser is he trying to use?
Well, I don't know what he's using because it's saying here
I just use Chrome.
Use Chrome or use a different device. So you've got to get Chrome added onto your phone, Anthony. Then you'll be in. Simple as that.
I just copy and paste a link into the Chrome bar, and it just immediately connected me in.
There you go, Anthony. That's how you do it.
I just allow the permissions to use your camera and your microphone, and that's it.
So
as easy as that.
Michael, please, is saying new feature every time you speak. Box flashes like celebrity squares. Yes, I can see that. Yeah, it's different. Rich saying, and I'm sat in a bar in Newquay by the beach. The Wi-Fi here is good. So yeah, if you're still here, Anthony, yeah. So it just if he's kind of got the
They want a question there, Phil. They even want to know the size of my fucking penis. No, Anthony, that's a link to Pornhub, not a link to TalkStudio.Streamlabs. He's found the link to the funny site.
Who's West Ham's next game? It is Brighton, Daz. We've got Brighton next, so they're on poor form as well. So hopefully, you never know. We can get out of that.
We're wondering whether we're going to win a game for the rest of the season.
Oh, we're in the same boat as well, mate. I mean, like, when you look at what we've got coming up.
It's almost a shame that Anthony's an Arsenal fan instead of a Tottenham fan, because then we can all be in the same sinking ship. we lose every game. We lose every game.
So when you look at that, Pepsi's got. We've got the Spurs game as well coming up as well. So yeah, battle for 16th. That should be the one.
Battle for 16th. You can't have 16th. Well, you're battling for 16th because we got 17th.
Tim at the back saying it's like Max Headroom back in the day. Do you remember that? Max Headroom. What a legend. We miss him. And they're saying hello to each other. Yeah, look, Frog say, look, yeah, still 2G where Herbie is, props. Yeah, it's probably.
They're still on pay-as-you-go internet meters.
Yeah, look. Anthony's Wi-Fi is connected to tractor settings.
His missus is on the. She's on that bike that you sometimes get in your gyms, and she's having to pedal to generate the connection. So it's like pedal faster. I'm trying to connect to the stream.
I mean, obviously, Pepsi's put here. Anthony's probably using his Nokia and needs an upgrade. It could be the fact he's using one of them Alcatel phones.
It's using one of those where you sort of have to turn the dial in the middle to get the number. It's like, okay, where's the E? Where's the B? Where's that? It's trying to enter in letters.
Tim at the back saying much better. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been working it out. So I'm getting used to this layout. Hopefully, Anthony will get myself Chrome. Usual. Good evening to yourself as well. Fuzzy, do you have faith in Amarin?
If he gets backed properly, then yeah. The only problem is that we need the manager backed. If we can't back a manager, we can't have faith in the manager. And if we can't have faith in the manager, there's no point in having a manager.
This is true, absolutely. And Potter's kind of unfortunately getting the booze after Saturday's game.
He's drinking on the job.
He's on the booze already.
Boo, boo. All right, yeah, boo, boo. I love it.
It's it's not good at all. Let's see what he said.
Instead of walking down the tunnel, we walked down the ambulance tunnel. Where it's just like, we're still away to the dressing room. I've got to tell some people what I think about them.
Ravi's asking the question: is Oshman a good deal and suit United at 40 million?
I mean, Oshman at 40 million would be a very good deal, yeah. But it's not going for 40 mil. Napoli wouldn't get rid of him for 40 mil. It's just not going to happen. I mean, Oshman would definitely want to come to United. I don't doubt that for a second, but no, not he won't be let go for 40 million unless they've done an absolute madness behind the scenes and there's a pre-agreement. It's just like, well, do us a favour. We gave you Scott McTominay, and he's bagging for you. Do us a favour, just a bit of a cut price on that deal, and we can be on our way.
Yeah.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours. I don't know if they'll do that sort of dealings, but who knows?
We missed out on that one. Scott McTominay, Mr. Moyes. Big up to DJ Crane as well. The ball, the fuzz, and where's the Ant? He's slowly kind of getting rid of AOL and free serve, and he's trying to get into the 90s and 20s with good broadband. That's the same, Fuzzy. Do you think it will be a Man U and Tottenham final?
Possibly. I mean, we've got to deal with Athletic Bilbao, which is basically them trying to get to the final, which is basically going to be a home game for them because it's at the San Mamés Stadium. So yeah, they'll definitely, if they get to a final, all bets are off. They've won the tournament. Just don't even play the final. They would have won the tournament. The only blessing that we've got is that I believe Nico Williams, one of their better attacking players at the moment, is potentially going to miss the tie. So we'll probably have to scumbag our way through to the final. Tottenham just have to not get embarrassed because Bodo Glimt, I mean, small little team and all, mate, these guys are just scoring goals. I don't know where this team has come from or what their secret is, but mate, they're sourcing on people. They are sourcing on people. Like teams that you're just like, yeah, they'll beat Bodo Glimt quite comfortably. And then the score ends up like 4-2 to Bodo Glimt. And it's like this other team couldn't even lay a glove on them. It's like, where's this come from? Even when they played us, they looked like an average goal threat. And we didn't necessarily. Actually, was it? Yeah, it was with. I think it was with Amarin. Might be wrong, but yeah, Bodo Glimt. They're not a team you sleep on at the moment.
Hopefully, Anthony's getting sorted out. Big up to Old School Gunner. Make sure you go and see his channel and give him a share, like, and subscribe. All right, lads, London's finest, 2-1 up. Hope you're all doing well. We're not playing yet, Dave, but thanks anyway for saying that. Smash the likes and subscribe, he's saying as well. Pepsi said Anthony's won the title. Yeah, has he?
Yeah, he ruined wrestling.
Ravi saying, Tony, I was so sure you were going to beat Southampton and you drew. Fortunately, you could avoid silly draws when you're leading. Not to make stupid mistakes and make silly substitutions that didn't kind of have no relevance whatsoever. Potter kind of going for this, trying to hold on to a 1-0 lead. Whenever do you hold on to a 1-0 lead? Never. So he should have kept on with what he had. And yeah, some weird choices there, Ravi. I think everyone's alluded to that. No one kind of could understand why he was making those decisions. But on 1-0, 2-0, a little bit different. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. So we'll see. Big Tone, big up to Waffle TV. Hope you're keeping well, Abs. Good to see you, matey. Hope everything's good for yourself. Brighton next, what do you think? Well, I think if you look at it like this, their form has been pretty poor, home and away. Problem is, we're not exactly any better at the moment, but I'd like to think that hopefully Potter's learnt from what happened on Saturday, and with the players, he's had a good old training sessions. They've had a good old sit down and talk. They've tried to sort things out, and hopefully from that, we may see a better team come Saturday. But I've seen the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow better than I've seen us turning things around. DJ Crane saying he got that from Vin Diesel, Fuzzy. That's why Dom beat the copper in that fight scene. Pepsi say there's no chrome in Bristol. Yeah.
Bristol's a blacklisted town or city for chrome usage. Google's forbid that place. It doesn't exist. If you go onto Google Maps and you type in Bristol, it says, sorry, we don't recognise this place. If you go to the part of the country in the UK where Bristol is, you'll just see it all greyed out. It's gone. Nothing.
Good evening to Nick. Good to see you as well. Fuzzy's a 1-inch pube, huh? Just the one.
Just one.
Frog saying Sullivan would be perfect Hobbit in Lord of the Rings. They can throw him in the volcano instead of the fucking ring. Oh, I'd love that. Chrome for all video links. There you go. See, Chrome.com. Well, it's saying Chrome or comb. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, usual. That's what he's saying on his phone. So he should get himself sorted out on that. Pepsi's saying Tony doesn't have a comb. I do. It's just literally it's on the end here, but the bit in the middle and that there's no teeth.
Well, maybe he does. It's just he won't share with us whereabouts he uses it.
On the arse crack. Michael say, Fuzzy, what do you think info sell to purchase Cunha and Oshman in the summer?
Well, sell to buy is probably going to be touted around like crazy, but I can imagine Cunha's going to be a deal that gets wrapped up quite quickly because, I mean, he seems to have made a big fiasco about, Man United, come sign me, Man United. It's not like Quenda, that's just like, the two clubs have an agreement and they're going to wait it out until the summer. This one's like, the players probably going to be like, well, I'm not signing for anybody else, I'm just going here, but the deal won't be done until later on in the summer transfer window or when the summer transfer window opens. Osherman, I think that deal's pretty much dead in the water as is, but there's talks that the other striker that they're trying to get in is Liam Delap, another City academy reject, typical. But I just think the sort of players that they're going to go after. I mean, we've just sorted out a deal for some other youngster. I've already forgotten his name. And it's like, Christopher Vivel's done this transfer. I'm like, does that solve first team problems right now? No? Okay, great, fantastic. But then again, it's okay for Ineos because it means they don't have to spend much money. So they'll happily sign kindergartens and rights of fair usage and all that stuff, and then teach them a load of bullshit about football. And then expect them to know what they're doing when they get to first team football. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. They'll reinvent the wheel at Man United.
Big up to Mr. Joshy J. Hope you're keeping well on that. Make sure you go and see Mr. Joshy J's channel as well. Good guy. Does a lot of good stuff. And of course, good old friend Michael Chelsea as well. Evening, girls and everyone in the chat. I'm also live currently for the Chelsea Women versus Crystal Palace game. And they're saying hello to each other. Ravi's saying Fuzzy is still on free internet for the weekends deals. You can get big money for that.
Nah, my internet's paid for. It's speedy. It's so good that I can connect to it from outside my house all the way down halfway down the other end of my garden. It's not a small garden either.
Because back in the day, and that you when what was it the cheap mobile phone? Oh, Mercury 1-to-1. That's what it was. Where they announced that it'll be free evening and weekend calls for life.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they went, I think who's it took it over? Was it T-Mobile? I think it was that took them over. And then suddenly they try and phone you up and saying, "Exchange, I've got this better deal for you." Nothing was better than that. Words and pictures saying, "I'm expecting match day Saturday to be another misery film experience," and trying to put shine a better light on it, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, let's be under no illusion. Can we get anything out of this game? Look, it's West Ham at the end of the day. Knowing Brighton been having a crap recent runs, West Ham turn up and we know the rest. Yeah, look, see, even Mr. Joshy J's thrown it in. Look, Samsung S25 Ultra, I'm using to write this. See, and he's not far down the road from Anthony as well. Perfect bonds for the head of the drone. Thank you very much. Big up to Stephanie as well. Big up Tony and Fuzzy.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Ace is saying Napoli has informed Ineos that they are not interested in a swap deal for Garnacho and Osherman.
I know there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, Garnacho, don't sell him. He's unsellable." I'm like, what fucking world are we living in? A world where Garnacho gets rated, mate. We used to have Cristiano fucking Ronaldo. I watched a game with the highlights of the Roma 7-1, the game where Cristiano played in. And that guy was just he was ruining lives on that football pitch. And this is back when, most of the Italian teams still had some superstar players. Like they had like peak Danilo De Rossi and Francesco Totti in that team. And these guys were trying to ball out at Old Trafford with John O'Shea. I think it's John O'Shea or Wes Brown at the back. I'm just like, the fact that Wes Brown looked like a Man United player, bloody Garnacho. Come on, get out of here. Garnacho literally couldn't lace. I see a comment somewhere in there that Garnacho couldn't lace Cristiano's boots. Mate, Garnacho couldn't lace or spit shine the boots of anybody that started for this club 15 years ago. Like, couldn't even look these players in the eye. Like, he'd have to walk down Old Trafford Tunnel with his head down. Yeah? Fine shame.
That's not good, is it? Not good. Michael Please is saying here, Potter said, no major rebuild needed. I can see 16 players out with contracts expired and the big guns all wanting away, and now we don't have Europe. I mean, if your manager's saying this, then, man, is he kind of buying the Sullivan spin? I mean, that's madness. If he's saying that we don't need a major rebuild, Jesus Christ almighty, then we are definitely in...
After the summer you had...
Yeah,
you're talking about the greatest summer of all time. Best transfer window. Do you remember that?
Absolutely, I remember every moment of that. I reminded Anthony every single time.
Every single time we did one of these shows across the summer, it was just like, okay, Tony, how many players have you signed this week? Well, he signed 3. How about you? And we was all just watching you get all giddy. And
yeah, I mean,
time for another summer of the same old shit.
The problem with this is the fact of, we've got this guy in to work with Potter to get players, but not good enough for David Sullivan. He's got no confidence in the fella, so he decides that he's now going to do all the transfer business. So he's going to deal with it all. He's going to see it all through, and we know he likes going down the treat route. So going by what Michael's put in there, that's just puts 2 and 2 together, isn't it? Frog Severlin, the small to be in the Hobbit. He can be one of the kids, Daz. Michael's also saying, does Arteta get a 20-year extension if he wins the Champions League? For one, we wouldn't hear the end of it for 20 years. They will demand statues of him put around the Emirates Stadium. It will be unbearable. I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, they've done very well to get where they are, but we're not going to hear the end of it.
It's like, it wouldn't even be like they would have actually have played the most incredible quality of football to do it either. Like all they would have had to have done is just beaten a few out of form teams, and that would probably, make an example out of how unbelievably trash that world football is at the moment.
Yeah,
the fact that Arsenal with a squad that a lot of people look at and go, nah, that's a dead team. That is able to win a Champions League. Like half the fan base have been up in arms about this team being absolutely catastrophically bad at times, and that the manager's got no clue, but they still win a Champions League. Like it's crazy. It's just like it's I don't know, an existential crisis.
Oh, they'll just say it's written in the stars, though, Fuzzy. That's the problem. Ravi's saying here, Tony, I agree with you. When you're 1-0, never sit back, just go for it. Well, I think old Full Crew made claim of that. when he kind of said it, when we go 1-0 up, we revert to hoof football. So that's great point from him. Hoof football, just lump it down the other end of the pitch and that. And it wasn't great. It was not great at all. Michael's also saying West Ham United midfield would lose in a walking football game. It's too fast for him. Yeah, we are slow. There's no two ways about it. Frog's also putting on there. Potter's had almost 4 months to learn how to be one of the worst clubs in Premier League history and failed. I suppose the only kind of shining light on that is, as we mentioned earlier, Ange Postecoglou and Spurs. I mean, 18 games, they're on the bounce now, but it still don't kind of do what we're doing. I mean, they're not doing well at the moment. Big up to our good old friend Uncle Rods. Bless up, brothers. Bless up to yourself as well, Uncle. Good to see you. And if you haven't gone and seen him, again, like we all say with content creators, share, like, and subscribe to Uncle Rods. As you know, he's been on the channel quite a few times. Good guy, and he's probably kind of a bit frustrated because looking at it, it's still, I think, 2-1 to the Arsenal. Unless anything's changed since we've kind of got through there. Ravi saying thoughts on Leeds making it back. I think there were still points off of teams. Well, hopefully they've learnt from the last time they was up in the Prem. I think they will do, because I think they've got different owners now. Am I right, Fuzzy? I think they've got different owners.
I think it's an American group again. That's
so there's a possibility of some backing in there.
Well, if the American owners actually want to win.
Yeah, true. I mean, obviously, it's like our ex-old boy Scotty Parker with Burnley. Done a fantastic job there, getting them promoted. 9 months in the job. It's a fact of, will they be able to stay up there, or are they going to be one of those that's going to bounce back straight up into the Championship? That says, at least you don't have to brush your ear, Tony. That's the no, don't have to do that. That's for sure. Fuzzy, why does your boy Garnacho think he's... Yeah, well, you mentioned this already, Fuzz. Yeah. I mean, this is the problem with certain youngsters. It's about being caught the right thing. Ooh, Fuzzy McDonald there. Fuzzy McDonald. Is Rashford being swapped with Watkins? I think, if anything, possibly Watkins could be Arsenal bound. Especially the comments he's made as well about being on the bench.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, mate, right.
There's a sort going on there.
Garnacho couldn't polish CR7's boots, Ravi, yet. Usual saying, yeah, Ravi, they don't spend wisely. I fancy they will yo-yo and go straight back down. This is the thing with Leeds. They don't do that. Usual saying, yeah, that's possible as well. Usually, evening, my friend. How's the eye? What's he done with his eye? Oh, of course, yes, of course, Steve. All good, usual. Getting the other one done next Wednesday. Let's hope it goes well. Big up to Daz Reynolds as well. Make sure you go and see his channel as well. Big up, Tony, mate. Put more predictions in tomorrow. Thank you, sir.
Speaking of eyes, have you seen the guy that's interim head of the World Economics Forum or something?
No, what's he look like?
Like the guy literally looks like a fucking demon. Like with his, like he's got one eye that's normal and the other eye is completely bloodshot. The former CEO for Nestle, like the white of his eye is just red, just like completely red. Like it looks demonic, like he's possessed. And he said something pretty demonic as well in 2017, where he said that humans should not have rights rights in access to free water.
Oh wow!
Like this guy probably is a hand in the Antichrist. That's all I'm gonna say. At this rate, probably he's got some scheme that he wants to probably see you guys, see everybody in the world suffer one way or another.
Bloody hell. Well, I have to look for his face then.
Oh, you can't miss him. Can't miss him.
Got the eye. Mr. Joshy J said, when Man United men play you on the 10th of May, I'm going to the Emirates Stadium with my dad to watch Arsenal women and Man United women. Good luck with that one as well. And yeah, Michael Blease saying, "Man, you best forward XG wise is Slaphead." Yeah, old Maguire. Yeah, the new thing in there.
Not surprised. I mean, to be honest, yeah, because I mean, with the few chances that Maguire gets in a game, he's gonna try and make as good of chances as he can. Meanwhile, you've got strikers at the other end of the pitch that see a goal and think, "Ha ha, fun that." Send it to fucking Mars. I mean, Jesus, what gets to Mars first, Elon Musk or Manchester United striker shot?
Wow. Yeah, but at least you're having some shots, not unlike us, mate. Big up to Moss at the Saskia Guna. Fuzzy says, "Please take Donna. Do you want to cull him back, please, and thanks?"
No.
And we'll have a little reaction on that one. Yeah, we'll have that one. That's a definite no. Steve saying, "All I'm looking forward to at the moment is the 11th of May, my local side, all the shot at Wembley." Oh, of course, yes. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, great game.
Same.
Yeah,
My
you
local
too.
side. I'm going.
There you go, Steve Bill.
I'm going.
Meet
I'm
up
going
with
to that.
Fuzzy.
Hell
Yeah, you get in touch with Steve and
£30 a ticket, that is.
really?
Yeah.
I suppose in certain respects. Yeah. Steve, you are as a band. Remember, you won't be missing much on the West Ham football side of things. Yeah, we could all do that, I suppose. Fuzzy, Tony and Fuzzy, which manager's going first? Man U or Tottenham? Tottenham.
Or there's two ways this can go. It'll either be the United manager because Ineos have shown their hand at Nice, where they can be quite trigger happy with sacking managers, or Tottenham get too close to winning a trophy and Daniel Levy says this is unfucking acceptable and sacks them on the eve of a final. So if Tottenham reach the final, that means that Ange Postecoglou is the closest possible to a sacking. Because if the Spurs he wants, he wants his Spurs back, Daniel Levy, and that Spurs is a trophyless Spurs wallowing at the depths of English football. No trophies in sight.
Yeah, don't want to try and think like that, but yeah, you're probably not wrong. People in the chat, obviously, we can see there's quite a few comments. The good thing about this, Fuzzy, it tells you how many comments are left in there at the moment. It's showing 108. Saskia, and as you're saying, yeah, Champions League was good. Smash the likes, thank you very much. What's Potter going to do in 4 months? I think we're all wondering that question as well, Russ. I mean, at the moment, it's
Join League Gunner streams.
Sorry,
guys, I couldn't hack it at being a manager for that West Ham team. Jesus, no.
Yeah,
get me back on YouTube.
They do a swap, don't they? Yeah, Lee Gunner's suddenly managing West Ham, and Potter's doing what Lee Gunner's channel. If Frog falls in the world, do you hear the ribbits? Absolutely. Red Bull Lee. Of course, it's Red Bull. So, of course, that means that Klopp's in the background as well. With that group. That's true. Very true. Yeah, just thought that. Thanks, Russ. Colin, good evening to yourself as well. Good evening, Tony and Fuzzy, you wonderful gentlemen. Happy to be with you, but you can only stay for half an hour, gents. That half an hour is really appreciated, Colin. Thanks for being with us. Really love that. Words and pictures saying, is anyone else getting a quite low level deep feedback buzz intermittently, or is it something my end I'm hearing?
No, I hear it as well.
Yeah, every now and then it comes on and it disappears. So it's not you, words and pictures. We do hear it ourselves as well.
It's just somebody constantly putting something in the microwave every time.
It could be Anthony trying to get himself in.
That's just Anthony hacking us because he can't fathom us doing a show without him. So he's trying to shut us down.
I mean, Michael Blease is saying there, look, Tony used to have a full head of hair like Yeti, then he became a West Ham United supporter. Yeah. I'm just going to I don't think I'll be able to find it, but I'll grab a quick look. Can I see? There's an old picture of me as a youngster. And you'll be surprised that I did have a fair set of hair on my head at one point.
That picture that we've got on the Instagram thing, where's you with your golden locks?
No, not that one. Let's see if they can see this. I'm not too sure, but that was me as a youngster. Look how skinny I was back then. Look, and I had hair on my bonds as well.
Bloody hell? You look like you worked for the Labour Party.
Well, Mum and Dad were Labour people. They were Labour people back in the day. So I'm going to quickly whiz through some of the comments there because we are kind of falling behind a little bit as always.
Doing a budgie.
Yeah. Very saying for your next show, Tony is going to wear his Davy Crockett hat. Well, I have actually got one of those, funny enough. Not here yet. Inter Milan 2-0 down to AC Milan. Thank you much, usual. And they're saying hello to you there. Brendan, good evening to yourself as well. Evening, Tont, Fuzzy in the chatters. I was waiting for Colin before entering the chat. Superb. They're saying hello to each other. Which is great. Let me kind of catch up with this. Good evening, everyone. So it's good. Makes us saying Bill Barrow would destroy United comfortably. Oh, you upset him there, Aces. He disappeared. Good evening. Ace saying Ineos Southgate on standby. They sacked Ruben Amorim after the Europa League elimination. Brilliant. Good evening to Chris Peters as well. West Ham, Spurs, and Man United are awful this season. Yeah, totally agree on that as well.
Most of the Premier League is awful this season.
Hope you're keeping well, mate. It's been a while. Hope everything's all good for yourself. Question for Frog in the Well. Do you like Toad in the Hole? Colin saying good evening to everyone in the chat. Nice to join you all. Always steer clear of that malarkey. Ravi's also saying, does it matter how many points a team wins the league by? Well, if you look at this season, Ravi, I think we've already said it's been a poor season overall. When you think about the points, normally by this stage, someone's getting in up towards the 90 mark, and we're nowhere near that. Good evening, Jay. Good to see you. Hope everything's well, mate. Make sure we go to that West Ham channel as well. Different setup on this thing. Get used to it. Yeah, Frog. Thank you very much, matey. Thank you. Evening there. That's a picture of Freddie Mercury, Todd. Frog, you haven't come here for looking for hope. Colin saying, Tony, mate, don't like saying it, but I can see us struggling next season. Yeah, I think you're not wrong there, mate. Especially having Sullivan in charge of transfers. Phil Potter needs to go, not liking the style too defensive minded. See, I look at it both ways on that. I mean, is it the case of he's literally just basically looking at the way things are with the squad he's got? Or is it the case of he's just making some poor decisions, which could be more the case, I'd say. Tony's all about next season, mate. And I think, look, I mean, at the end of the day, hopefully he does spend the money. Well, he gets given the money to spend on players because we know that's one thing. We definitely are going to be looking at a rebuild. I mean, you're hearing kudos. Could it be the fact of he's going to go to a Premier League club or is he off to Saudi? It's one of those. But it's also, it sounds like if he is going to go, it's going to be on the cheap. So we're not going to get that 85 million release clause. It looks like it's going to be nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Which, again, is another player we're going to lose money on.
Yeah. I suppose there's going to be quite a few clubs that, for a lot of failed investments this season, will try and make some money back from. It's going to be difficult to do it, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a lot of clubs are going to have to take the hit on it and say, well, look, we're trying to chase success, and to do that, you've got to spend. You know, you don't go into football in the with the goal of trying to make money, unless you're the guys, of course. And it's not necessarily a sort of thing that loves you back. You know, you have to take the hits with some of these things.
Just replying to that, and he just telling me how bad it is. Frog said, I think we're stuck with this mess for the foreseeable future. The club is rotten top to bottom, and I think that's an understatement there, Frog. Until we kind of can get someone to actually buy this club and move us on, that's the only way around it, I think. But you're right what you're saying. We are stuck with it for this foreseeable future. And we know full well, it turns out, as much as Fuzzy said there, I was gloating about all them signings we did. Were they the right signings? Doesn't look like it, does it really?
Signed for a manager that never stuck around.
Well, the problem with, as I said I think it was on the weekend, it's the fact that if it wasn't for Lopetegui, then I'm laughing about it. We possibly could have been in that bottom three if it wasn't for them points earlier on that you got. Surprisingly got, shall we say. But as we know, there's not been the manager bounce with Graham Potter. Nowhere near that.
Yeah.
And we've got a chairman now that wants to get us involved again in the transfer market and do the signings. I mean, look, we can't knock it in certain respects. I know because obviously he has backed Lopetegui, with 150 million. It's not exactly enough to sniff at. But at the same point, where does it leave us, or what was Potter got? Because obviously with PSR, whatever you want to call it, it's shocking, Fuzz. It's shocking that we're going to be like this. It's no good. It's no good at all.
Well, at least you make a Man United fan feel a bit better.
Yeah. We were having that comment, the other day that this is a anti-West Ham channel. It's one of those. But yeah, we have fun on that. Yeah. Ravi saying, does the media and some fans overhype young players after 6 months to a season by saying they're world class before they've had a chance to prove themselves? I think it comes down to, on that one, Ravi, it's either the case of how the players are coached, for one. Mm-hmm. And I think it also comes down to the mentality of the player itself. Because as we know, with some of these players now, they're not on small wages when they sign these pro contracts. They're getting some serious money, some of these. So that in itself, they need to be coached to make sure they manage that money in the right way and don't let it get the better of them. Unfortunately, we do see the situation with some that it has. I mean, I could never forget the youngster, and I think anyone that lived around the Newham area, I can't remember what the year was now, he just signed a new contract, a pro contract with QPR, got himself a Golf GTI 2-litre turbo job, and lost control and ended up in the gardens of the East Ham fire station where he actually died. So it's things like that. So your kind of comment there, it kind of alludes to them things. But I say it all depends on the player, the mentality of the player, and how the club coaches that player or looks after that player. Yeah, Mama's saying, of course they do, Ravi. Yeah. Tony doing a watch along in the Brighton game. I may be out on Saturday, so it could be the fact of I may not be able to do that one, but I'll try and do a reaction afterwards. But if anything changes, then I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely do that game. Ian are saying pretty dire times at West Ham. I have to say that for me, depressingly, there is absolutely no evidence that Sully will get things right next season or any time in the future. Yeah, that, Ian, I agree on that. We've seen the proof in the pudding over the last couple of years. Yes, we've spent money, but what has it done for us? We've not exactly kind of, apart from 3 years in Europe, nothing else has really improved in that respect. I mean, even then, when we won the Europa, we ended up 14th as it was anyway. So as much as we won the Europa and unbeaten, it still wasn't great. So yeah, we've got to try and put a brave face on, haven't we? We've got to kind of say, like, this is how it's going to be. But yeah, no, it's not good at the moment. Yeah, back up to minutes these days. You can't have 3 people doing transfers. This is the thing, and this is where it becomes messy, isn't it? Because not being funny, I suppose with Steid, even with Steidham being there, was he much of an influence on certain things? Did Sullivan give him free rein? It's kind of transpiring. He did to a certain extent, then wasn't happy with what's gone on, and of course now Steidham's gone, and now we're picking up the pieces, and we've got shit to deal with, and that shit's not leaving, unfortunately, with a lot of it. Some of it's going to be sticking, and that's fucking sad, because we can't move on and progress, even if it is with Potter. Because are we going to be able to get rid of these players? That's going to be the sad part. And if we do get rid of them, what price are we going to actually sell them for? Because I don't think it's going to be good money. I think we're going to lose out heavily on a lot of these buys. Mama saying far too much, and the world class tag is used way too much often. Yeah, we hear that on one certain player as well, Mama, and we know full well he's not nowhere near that yet. Yeah, well said. Ravish saying Tony, is Potter evolving as a manager or just a decent basic manager? We've got to remember he's been 2 years out of the game for one. I mean, he's been handsomely paid for being 2 years off of out of football together. There is some certain qualities in there, but the last couple of games, his substitution choices and some of the tactics he's gone with, and it is questionable. I mean, I tried to, I won't say I'm defending the man, but I think it's a case of he's got to try and work with what he's got, and he probably realises that what he's got is not good enough, and you can only polish a turd so often, and he's got to try and do the best with that. So yeah. Frog saying, as bad as Loppy was, why wasn't he given more time and patience? Yet Potter, who has done even worse, should be uncriticised. His management career goal record is negative. Why does he get a pass? I suppose it comes down to this, Frog, isn't it? You get rid of someone where it causes a lot of problems. We can see that in players' attitudes. That I think for me, and I still say it, Kudos is still throwing his toys out of the pram because of what happened with the Lopetegui situation. That I'll revert back to the Spurs game when he got himself sent off. He didn't need to be, but I think that was pure frustration. But Potter, I think it's a case of Sullivan looks at it like this: we'll just get by. Once he knows he's safe, he don't have to worry. And get it. Let's just see the season out. If we get a couple of points, happy days. If we don't, there you go. We just crack on. But yeah, managers should be criticised. They're the ones that's been given the task to actually kind of get something out of a team. I mean, we look at my fellow panelist. At the end of the day, and that Amorim is being lambasted left, right, and centre. It's one of those, isn't it? I mean, and he's on a hammer into nothing, because as much as we've got what we've got, that squad at Man United and that is obviously been labelled as the worst Man United team for I don't know how many years, but it's been quite a few years.
Well, could say all time, but I mean, Amorim. I mean, even our manager says this is we understand and we recognise that we're the worst team ever. So it's like, as a manager, to say that, and you as a player who plays for him, you have to think, well, that's a low point. I'm a part of a record-breaking side for all the wrong reasons. So something tells me that this manager, given that he's quite brutal in his assessment, in how he sees the situation, tells me that he would be humble enough to know if he isn't doing a good enough of a job. And of course, he's already put his hands up and said, look, there's certain things that that I make decisions on, and I have to hold myself accountable to it. But we also understand that where we are at as a team is that we are one of the worst sides of all time in this club's history. And that can't be understated. I mean, I know a lot of people will go in on a manager and say, well, he's got to get the best out of the players. But it sort of gets to a point where we've seen the same excuse used for managers for like the past 5 or 6 attempts. Oh, they should be able to get, if they're good managers, they should be able to get the best out of these players. But they all end the same way. They've tried different styles, they've tried different ethoses, different training regimes. So some were forced to go home in the dark after training, some were let go whilst there's still daylight hours. Some were allowed to fish and chips Friday, and others were just like, no, you can't have that. Eat healthy, have a fruit salad instead. So they've tried loads of different things, but the common denominator is that it's another manager that is seemingly this absolute fraud bum manager with no credentials. Like, oh, why did we ever sign him? It's like, I think that the appointment would be a good appointment with Amarin, absolutely top notch appointment. But the way that Ineos were appointing him, it's like they did not know why they wanted Amarin. Us as fans can understand why we would want Amarin, but Ineos didn't. So we're skeptical about the appointment process that they underwent. But we're here now, so what do? Do we just say, well, cut our losses and just say that it was the right guy at the wrong time, and then try and get the right guy at the right time? Because as far as I'm concerned, we've tried 5 or 6 times to get the right guy at the right time, and we've always ended up wrong guy at the wrong time. Maybe pick up a trophy here and there, so can't necessarily say that these managers were just complete and total failures, that there was absolutely no point in having them, because they picked up 1 or 2 trophies along the way, like Jose Mourinho, Eric Ten Hag, Louis van Gaal with the FA Cup. It's like these managers have picked up trophies, so we can't say that they were mistake appointments because they got something. It's just the common denominator is that always when a manager's about to get the sack, you see all the players all saying the same thing, and you're like, but why are the players talking? Who gives a shit about what the players are saying about a manager? You never had this issue with this prevalence back 10, 20 years ago. If you had one person talking shit about a manager, they'd be out the door.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, the problem is, like, as you said, with your board way they're doing things, and that it is obviously there's a power struggle there and a bit of a mess. And if you look at it with us, we've only literally got Sullivan, we've got Kretinsky that sits in the background and basically says naff all. So it's literally run by Sullivan, which is that's worse than what your lot do, basically. Just having one man trying to run the whole thing. There's power crazy, too much. As he's saying, we haven't got top players, but Potter should have done a lot better against Southampton. I think most definitely does. I think if you look at it, there's no way he should have tried and string it out for 1-0, 2-0. Then you've got a bit of a comfort zone. Southampton would have capitulated on that, and there would be no reply. But the fact of especially the first half, how Southampton played. Remember, they're relegated. They've got nothing to worry about. They can just have a training session, kick around, have a laugh, and they can show what they could do, which is a bit of a shame for a Southampton fan because it means they were taking the piss all that season, get themselves relegated. But for us, yeah, like I said, the substitutions he made. Mateta's just come on, and he has just done the cheekiest goal and beat Raya of all keepers, absolute happy days. 2-2 to in the game now. Have a look at this. If you get the chance to have a look at it, Fuzzy.
Drawing against Arsenal's not for everybody.
Look at that. I mean, yep, fucking fair play. Dear me. Frog saying, Frog. Sorry, Brendan saying, Frog. If Potter went, we'd get Southgate next, so pass works. Yeah. Brendan's also saying, did Southampton get a new interim manager bounce? I mean, look, as I was saying, Brendan, it's a case of they've got nothing to worry about. But who is that? Who was that? Who's number 2? Is that Gabriel? Is it? 2 Cockshaw, or was it one of them? Oh, what a poor pass. Mateta, Raya's way off his line, and lovely. Love that. Yeah, I do believe, look, I mean, for me, the work rate they put in, they play for that interim manager, and fair play to him. Yeah, absolutely fair play. Tim Men at the back saying, plus Sullivan is listening to Brady. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now about managers. So is she involved in transfers as well? He's got to be listening to her, hasn't he? She has, as much as we don't hear old Dame Brady, but she is in the background. I think she speaks more than what Kaczynski does, put it that way. So, cool. If that is the case, 10 minutes at the back, that is. We try not to be negative about our club, but oh Jesus,
so shit.
Yeah, literally, man, literally. Matt saying she knows nothing about transfer. 10 minutes at the back, no one on attack. Yeah. Colin saying, Brennan, mate, you know why I was only on short time because she wants me to join her in the bathroom, mate. Good luck to you, Colin. Love that. Love that. And good evening to Barbara as well. Go on, Colin. You're a lucky man, Brendan's saying. Tim, man, yeah, she knows nothing about managers. Yeah, they always keep bringing him. Yeah, Frog saying, Togs, well, that's that then. Stick with the same shit mechanic and hope for the best. It is. Yeah. We're stuck with that, unfortunately. Michael Blees is saying, and it's all crap when people say it's not his players. A good coach will improve average players and get the best out of good players. Look at Wolves, very average on paper, but improving under the new manager. And this is true. I mean, I like this Wolves manager because you can see that he actually it means something to him. It does mean something to him. And I know when Pot was appointed in the first place, there was a lot of question marks. Was he the right choice? I said at the time he was the right fit at the right time. Maybe I was wrong in that comment, but we could see now that, as they say, the shit's definitely hitting the fan now. And, it doesn't read well. Michael Blees is also saying Potter can go done worse as manager in West Ham history. At the moment, he's on 0.93 points per game, where Avram is worse, 0.89. But, yeah, if it carries on, it probably won't be that long. That's for sure. Without a DOF, we're pissing in the wind. Potter apparently had his system and the people write the checks have theirs. That's not a pan. That's idiocy. You're not wrong. I mean, when you look at that, yeah. But if he's got that qualification, he's supposed to be this masters in so-and-so. Ravi's saying, if anyone has seen Darren Farley's latest impression of Daniel Farker reacting to being back in the Prem, it's really funny with all these sausage puns. You'll have to look out for that one. Ravi's saying as well, I think when some of the jokers in the squad leave and fresh players, what Amram want, we will see a better United improving. Don't think it's going to happen straight away, but...
Well, I think it would take a little bit of time, but just as notion to Michael Blees' comment, that's rubbish with the players. I think you can say that's probably true for most clubs, but if you've got a club that's like Man United, I think the problems go beyond just the playing squad. Like, look at all the players that leave Man United that were atrocious. They're doing okay. They're doing pretty decent, right? But these same players that have gone to do decent elsewhere, everyone's saying, bring them back, bring them back. You know, they've learned the errors of their ways. They will be reborn at Man United. Like, seriously, these people just don't fucking learn. They don't fucking learn. There's a cultural problem at this club, and it infects everybody that walks through those doors. It's no coincidence that players are getting cured by walking out. Seriously, Casemiro could probably walk out the door and he'll turn into a Champions League winner again. Andre Onana could become a Champions League finalist goalkeeper again if he left and went to go bloody goalkeep for bloody West Ham.
Yeah, it was a nice goal, Michael, I must admit. What we've got there, the Hotspur Hippie, the female version. Hey, Fuzzy, you prick, were you waffling today? Very nice.
We're waffling the truth.
The truth. You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Barry saying, Palace, they're a team you can't let your guard down against. Absolutely, mate. I mean, I said that early on to an Arsenal guy at work. Depends what Palace team turn up as well, and especially being away. That says it all, really. Colin saying, boys, I'm lucky because my friend, who I'm a carer for, is in respite at the moment, under stress, just being demanded upon, but enjoying times. She'll be going back home to Houston in 1.5 weeks. And the main thing is with that, Colin, enjoy that time. And and I agree with that as well, Brendan. Yeah, enjoy your time, Colin. You deserve it. Yeah, especially with the work he puts in. So, yeah, totally agree on that. Getting there saying, yeah, they're agreeing. Ace is saying, Liverpool champions, Palace supporters are singing. Wow. Yeah, they know how to mix it up. Ravi's saying, Fuzzy, thoughts on the way you dug in deep to win versus Lyon and why you didn't do this earlier on in the season in the Prem?
As I said, cultural issue at the club. They're only if they're feeling up for it, they'll feel up for it. If they're not, you won't see them turn up. They'll switch. It's like a light switch, right? But the person in control of the switch is a little bit childish. They go, hey, look at this, it's lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off, lights off. That's kind of how the football got to dictate how Man United players, play football professionally. They pick and choose moments, and this was an issue that we had under Ten Hag last season. Like, it wasn't that these guys were inconsistent from game to game. They were inconsistent from minute to minute per game. Like 5 minutes, they were great. Next 5 minutes, atrocious. Like, concede 5 goals in 5 minutes or something stupid. Then 5 minutes later, world class, better than prime Sir Alex Ferguson Man United. And it's like, why is it that players that show a capability of being at a higher level fail to show it with consistency? It's got to be to do with the application. How does a player apply themselves in the situation? And to me, if it's going to be the case that you've got players with capabilities at playing higher level football, and you don't see it from them week in, week out, that's a player that is not trying. And I hear it a lot from a lot of people saying, oh, but these players, they do try. Oh, shut up. I know a player is trying. I know it when I see it.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that. You know when they're doing it and when they're not doing it.
And you can tell just by footballing habits. You can tell by the habits of players.
Well, that's what I was alluding about Southampton. Considering how well they played against us. As I said, as a Southampton fan, I'll question, well, why haven't we done that all season? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they probably would have got them out of where they are out of trouble. But that's over and done with now. Big up to Arsenal, Manic. Big up Tony and Fuzzy. What's the Saliba playing at? He did it again. Yes, I mean it was poor. It was poor. I mean, since
feeling guilt, post Real Madrid guilt.
Oh, fucking hell. Palace, there's 8 minutes stoppage time. There's 6 minutes left to go. Palace at the moment are enjoying this last couple of minutes. They're showing Arsenal what to do. Frog saying, all of this faith and hope we're supposed to invest in their promises. May as well take up proper religion. And this is the problem, isn't it? I mean, we know full well we've been sold down the river with some of the comments that them two have come out with. Doesn't bode well at all. Arsenal Manic saying Saliba should be investigated for match fixing or being a wally. Well, Paqueta's in that same position, Arsenal Manic, so you never know, mate. You never know.
Check his payees with his bank account and see if Florentino Perez is there.
Yeah. This is true. Yeah, because yes, you're coming to Madrid. Yeah,
Drive down the price for Saliba as much as possible by getting him to turn him into a clown. The rest of the season, just be an absolute arsewipe, and then we can sign you on the cheap because it'll be completely unreasonable to sell a player for 100 million who's been sabotaging your team week in, week out. Big brain.
Matt saying a match fixing Wally Arsenal Manic, yeah. And Arsenal Manic saying Rayo is a liability recently too. Flapping at crosses, standing outside of the box. He thinks he's a number 6. He's got too cocksure, Arsenal Manic, you know. And
thinks he's Manuel Neuer in his
mate. And the thing is, though, it's you know, I said the last game they played, he's going to get caught out one day, and today was his day. Today was a day. On the beach already, Arsenal Manic. Yep. I mean, this is so. Even if this is a draw, does it mean does Liverpool win on this, or they got to win, or Arsenal got to lose for them to win it?
No idea.
Aces is saying League Gunner 8-hour emergency stream starting soon. God, Jesus Christ, you can see it coming. Boys hose your team that they really don't like. Yes, very true. I was want to say, Matt Foster, they're becoming too arrogant, nonchalant, and this is what's cost them. In certain respects, it is what's cost them.
I think Liverpool would need to win their 34th game to seal it. If the result stays as a draw, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so basically,
because Liverpool has still got 21 points potentially to play for.
Right.
So as long as there is not a 21-point gap between Arsenal and Liverpool, then the title's not wrapped up.
So basically, if Palace manage to get sent out of this game, then they're sitting it, basically.
Yeah.
Mount is a criminal. 100% he needs to go.
He is. Biggest PR disaster in football history.
Well, you say that, and then not usual mentions this man. Arsenal played with 10 men the first half. Sterling was absolutely atrocious. I mean, when you look at it, that bloke stealing a wage. I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong, Chelsea's paying the majority of it. But as I said to an Arsenal bloke I was talking today in work, surely they must have learnt and got burnt from the Willian situation. So why get another Chelsea bloke who's on big money and is absolutely shite? He doesn't even deserve to be there, really. Real Madrid game on ITV4 at the moment. Thank you very much, Aces. Ravi saying, Fuzzy, if it wasn't for how bad the bottom 3 were, do you think you would have been in the relegation zone? He reckons you would have done.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I think we could have done that as well, yeah.
Well, us, Spurs, yourselves. There's a load of teams that could be down in the bottom 3, but...
Rare dude, those Hollywood saves. Ravi saying, I'm not sure, but Liverpool could get a guard of honour at the Arsenal game. Oh, imagine that. Come on, the Palace. Come on, the Palace. Yeah, not alone there, Arsenal, Manic. Yeah. Ace saying, when Liverpool destroy Tottenham on Sunday, they're champions. Well, there you go. Thank you very much, Aces. Marcus saying, Liverpool win next game, the Arsenal go Anfield and give them the walk of honour. Arteta leading at the front. You imagine that. Are you surprised at Inter losing 3-0 to Milan tonight? It's been a weird season.
Well, the thing is,
Oh,
right,
fucking hell, yeah.
Inter Milan and Inzaghi's style of play. I don't know if you've studied how Inzaghi plays or how an Inzaghi team plays football. Is the most confusing shit you've ever seen in football. Literally, the centre back three are not centre backs. I'll put it that way. The midfield two are your centre backs.
Bloody hell. Well, I can
Actually,
understand the reason why you do that.
No, it's 3-5-2. So yeah, so it's three midfielders are your three centre backs.
Yeah, I'll give it that. Just Ian saying there's a lot of empty seats at the Arsenal. I'm just looking at that. He is not wrong. It is. I mean, there's a lot of people leaving now. I mean, but even still, before then.
Yeah, but they all.
Oh, and it is finished 2-2.
Yeah, but Arsenal fans are a bit weird because it's like they were winning 3-0 against Real Madrid at the Emirates. It's like such a significant game, yet people were still leaving the ground early. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But why? Why are you leaving? Like, stay out to the very end, soak it in. If you're getting really late, you're getting really late. If you missed the last train home, get a bloody hotel. You went and you saw your team smash up Real Madrid 3-0 at your home ground in the Champions League. You know, the Champions League team. You slapped them up. Go and enjoy it. But no, it's more important because there might be a nice looking girl on Babe Station that I might miss out on. So I best leave 5-10 minutes before the end of the game. Can't miss Babe Station. God.
Not for love nor money, as they say. Remy said, I think Sterling is time has come to an end in football. Yeah, he's, it's just steal a wage and that's it. You say, Manic, I'm fucking backed him. Tim at the back saying, Liverpool win Premier League if they beat Spurs at the weekend. Thank you very much for the comments on that. Yeah, Michael, nice one on that as well, they're saying. Yeah, Daz 2-2, isn't it? Virgin Pictures are saying, off topic, rare smiley face. Triple conjunction event involves Saturn, Venus as eyes and small crescent moon. 5 to 5:30 a.m., 24th and the 25th. So that is tomorrow, yeah. So tomorrow and Friday, so I'll have to look out for that. Thank you, Words and Pictures. That's always nice to see them kind of things. As long as the weather's got a nice clear night, so we'll see. But thank you very much for that. Colin's saying good night, and he's saying, Tony and Fuzzy, good night to the both of you. Take care. Try to join next time, you wonderful gentlemen. God bless you both. And the same to you as well, Colin, and enjoy your time and relax. That's the key thing. Michael Bleed's saying, didn't realise Italian football was back on. Thought they were mourning the Pope for a week. Yeah, because of course, yes, he's passed, isn't he?
Well, yeah, they're mourning the Pope, but they did have fixtures on the Monday, I think it was, which all of those got postponed. So they did postpone fixtures. So, yeah.
Good night, Colin Mate is saying as well. Arsenal Manic saying, yeah, they leave early to be on the camera. Michael, it's a cup semi-final second leg. Later, Colin, be gentle, he's saying. Ravi's saying, is the false nine the way to go in football currently? Well, if it was the case, Moyes has been the instigator of that because he did that with Skamaka and he did it with Haller. He made them false nines and that, and they didn't score any goals.
No, I don't believe in false nine BS. I would really like for a top team to do a Fergie, go 4-4-2, and just be direct as fucking anything with the best players, with a selection of some of the best players in the world, and have a manager that just coaches these players, right? Just your specialties, you're special for something, play your way and see what they do.
No, it's true. That's true. Colin just saying, good night, everyone in the chat. Always a pleasure joining you all. Just a pity you cannot stay longer. Take care and God bless you. Colin, do not worry about it. enjoy that time, like I said to you. Going on what you're saying there, Fuzzy Ravi's saying, yeah, I mean, you've seen it work in a lot of teams. Some teams it works, some teams it don't. Frog says, Arsenal's going for a false number one. Yeah, he's been there for most of the season.
Yeah, so it's tactic obsession in modern day football. Too much for managers and players to think about, whereas simplified tactics, it's like Ferguson wasn't a tactical genius. It's like with Eddie Howe, for example. He's not a tactical genius. He's not, but he's got just a straightforward way of playing, a convincing message to get players on board. It's just you'll sometimes, when they're on it, bloody hell, they're on it. Like, and you see the quality come through in that team.
Yep, agree
but
on that.
Look at the pockets in that team where there are players that are not Premier League quality, yet still you can see where they do struggle. But give them solid backing and plug those gaps, proper Premier League quality / Champions League quality, mate, that could be an ex-Ferguson-like team.
Yeah, agree on that. We've been playing with a false nine all season, Ravi, especially when Ferguson plays. Yeah, it's not good, is it? And they're saying, good night, Colin. Frog, you're hilarious.
We haven't just got a false number nine. We've got false wingers, we've got false attacking mids, we've got false everybody up the top. The only player that's not a false player is Ahmad Diallo. That's pretty much it.
Colin's saying, Frog, she needs to be gentle with me, mate. Yeah, that's brilliant. Matt's saying, come and live for another now in Angie's coffin. I mean, that's a strange situation there. Not backed by an owner. We've seen that with Mourinho and Conte, and Angie's in the same position. And of course, he's apart from winning, possibly he might win the Europa, but other than that, he's going to go down as the worst Spurs manager.
To be fair, though, with the players that they've got at Spurs, he should be doing better than that. Significantly better.
Maybe the players are down tools, Fuzzy. You never know, mate. It could be the case of that.
Possibly, yeah.
Michael Blease, I think 2 up top is the way to go. Defenders get it easy. Totally agree on that. And I said, Michael, I think for me, that's where we lost out on Hallett and Samaka because we should have played with 2 up top. Not being funny, they moved on. Look at them, still scoring goals. So it proves a point.
Well, with the way a 4-4-2 works, it's like, what I noticed with Fergie's 4-4-2s, there's 2 target men that you constantly get crosses into from your fullbacks and your wingers, and when the ball goes down the wide channels, the fullback plays the ball into the winger, he starts to dribble with it, and that fullback has just gone up the pitch, and they'll go all over the place. These players
overlap him, and
2 midfielders. The space between players is actually quite large.
Yep.
Like they're not close range. Oh, short 5-yard passes, guys. No, they'll thunder cunt it right into their teammate, and this teammate will trap a ball perfectly, and then just ping it outside of the boot halfway across the pitch to a player who's 1-on-1 with a goalkeeper. Like that sort of. It looks like they train to do that sort of thing. But if a team tries to attempt that now, I think they'd look quite foolish because I don't think players train to play with that sort of freedom.
Not anymore.
They just train to pass a ball 5 yards in certain patterns and get told. It's like, for instance, your goalkeepers. This obsession. Oh, it's like with that Enzo Maresca. This obsession is like, you get dropped from the team if you play the ball longer than 10 yards.
I know.
What's that all about? Why bother? Seriously, why bother? There's literally no point to it. Just
True.
Get a shot-stopping goalkeeper.
Yep.
2 centre backs that are destroyers and are good at tackling, physical. 2 full backs who know how to defend, who will run forward and can deliver a mean cross. That's all you need. Kieran Tierney would be a fantastic player in a Ferguson team.
Yeah.
I reckon he would have ended up, if Fergie had another 10 years in him, he would have been all over that side.
Yeah, it would have been Man U. Yeah, definitely. Big up to Ryan G as well. Big up, lads. Big up to yourself as well, mate. There, Ian saying, yeah, maybe old-fashioned. Not at all, mate. But forget your false nines. Good old-fashioned little man and big man for me. Proper strikers. Work off of each other. One wins the ball in the air. The other player runs on. Give and go. Support each other. Switching every now and then. Making the defence think what they're going to do. That's it. That's the way forward. Ace saying, Fortetta was taking Win the Dog for Walkies yesterday, live on Sky Sports News after press conference finished. Well, he should have picked up the shit from winning that and took it with him because he might have actually won the game today. That's true. Arsenal is saying, Raya just do the job as a goalie. Stop trying to be party. Yeah. Well, he's no Bruce Grobbler, that's for sure. Frog saying, Ravi, we're leading the way. We had 3 false managers. Yeah, he definitely went Pete Tong for us as well. So far in there. Arsenal Max saying, Man U, West Ham, Spurs are lucky we have 3 duds in the Premier League this season. Otherwise, your arse cheeks would have been flapping. Would have been the relegation battle. And I've said this, Arsenal Manic, if it wasn't for Lopetegui getting the points for us, then more than likely we could have done. Could have been there. Frog saying, without a director of football, we're pissing in the wind. Potter apparently has his system, and the people who write the checks have theirs. That's not a plan, is it? Yep. And totally agree on that. Ravi saying, what's happened here? Have I gone backwards? I haven't, I twat. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that, guys. What the hell's happened there? Doing so well at one point. There it is. Words and pictures. Let's hope Potter's Brighton knowledge helps us on Saturday. Well, hopefully on that. Ian saying, agree with you, Tony. Haller and Skamaka were both perfectly good goal-scoring strikers. Shockingly treated and misused by Moyes. Yep, the waste of money is criminal. And I totally agree on that because even with, Haller, I think he had the cancer or when the remission come out of it kind of thing, and then carried on scoring goals. And Skamaka's doing exactly the same. So why, buy these players and pay them for big money as well and then not bloody use them in the right way? I always say, classic one for me was Darren Bent from Charlton to Spurs. Ramos played a completely different system. And before you know it, Benty weren't scoring any goals and he was moved on. But managers don't adapt sometimes, and they say the players don't adapt, but got to get the best out of the players, really. If Liverpool were to sell Núñez, we'll have money to lose on him. He's a bit of a strange one. Was Ange worse than Nuno Espirito Santo? I'd say it's more. I think Ange is a little bit worse, actually, unfortunately. With Nuno and that, again, I think the problem with that time, because you've got to think he was the Wolves manager and he went to Spurs. Things were a little bit soured when he left Wolves. Maybe he carried that on a little bit over into the Spurs area. But, Ange at the moment, it started off all right, and then it went downhill from that point onwards. Night all, top show. Daz, thanks for being with us. Appreciate that. I know the boys will be moving off to see Budgie and soon if he's obviously doing the show. I also want to say, no jokes. Look at the table. Everton, Man U, Wolves, Spurs, West Ham. That would have been on the most exciting relegation fight. Yeah, very true, mate. Very true. I mean, Everton, look where they've got. And
what we need is Arsenal to be involved in the relegation battle next season. It'll be all okay.
If you think about it, I mean, the way it could have gone on, it could actually have been Spurs that's could have, could be going. Like it does be lucky, absolutely. Frog.
Well, I mean, if they keep Ange Postecoglou next season, then hell yeah. I'm all for building Daniel Levy a statue outside the Emirates Stadium. Great.
You mentioned that. Matt saying Messiah saved Everton and Arsenal. Yeah, true. Yeah, he's agreeing with that as well. Matt saying Sean Dyche would have got Everton relegated, I think. Yeah, I think the time was running out there for him. That's for sure.
It's okay, though, for them, because Haggis breath saved them.
Haggis breath.
Let's see if I can remember it.
There's always a next season. Have some hope for Frog in the world. Yeah. Ryan saying if we didn't have Gary O'Neill for 16 games, we might have gotten top 10 this season. That's true, Ryan. Yeah, that's very true, mate. Arsenal saying, is Anthony still part of your panel? Ain't seen him here the last few times I've passed by. He should have been in tonight for some reason. We're trying a new platform out tonight, Arsenal Manic, and his phone wouldn't allow him unless he's got some kind of firewall thing going on. Fuzzy did exactly the same thing, managed to get on here on his computer as well as his phone. But unfortunately, Anthony couldn't gain access. So that's the
He
reason
couldn't
why.
figure out how to close the Pornhub tab. He was constantly, please let me get to the show.
Thank you, Matt, for saying that. Yeah, absolutely. Tech issues tonight for him. How about the alarm? No, he's sorted out the fire alarm.
About the wonky Christmas tree.
Yeah, all that going on there. Spurs is bigger than just a manager and player issue. Yeah, it's Levy, Ravi. It's Levy. Yeah, I think he did fix it in the end. Yeah. Ryan saying Nuno was only given like 10 games at Spurs, wasn't he? Yeah, it wasn't long, was it? I mean, Levy for some reason, I don't know. Maybe it's a case of did he want him there or not? Frog saying Arsenal Manic, he's having technological problems tonight. A sheep ran off with his router. Pepsi saying I'll use that excuse when I don't go to work tomorrow. I've got tech issues.
Just say the car broke down. Mate, you live 5-minute walk away. Yeah, the car broke down in front of my front door. Couldn't get out the front door. Climb out.
Michael, God bloody hell, man. Good night to you as well. We're up at 3 o'clock in the Jesus, Michael, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it as always.
Crazy.
Perhaps Ian saying, I don't think Nuno got a fair crack at the whip at Spurs. He was great at Wolves, and look at him now. Exactly. I mean, when you look at it again, I think it was what he said on Sunday, the fact that the chairman stuck with him, and this season it's paid off. And they were saying hello to each other. Ravi saying, question, anyone think the way Slot has escaped to victory with his style of football, it can be sustainable? I'm not sure he can. I mean, look, sometimes a manager comes into a club and it works out pretty well. They hit the ground running, they do things, and you've got to look at it like this. The fact that he's only bought one player and he's virtually kind of taken a Klopp side and got it to work again. That in itself, he's going to probably lose some players. Trent obviously looks like he's going to be off. It's next season, Ravi, is going to be the question. Can he kind of do the same thing next season? That's when you find out how good he is. This season, it's all about living off the hype. Anthony knew what was coming tonight. Avoided the embarrassment. Possibly so, yeah. Possibly so. Ravi says Liverpool have to buy and strengthen the team. Can't just think this team can hold on and go any get. No, not at all. Not at all. And I think that's the thing for me, Ravi. It's one of those. Yeah. Thank you, Ravi. Yeah, definitely that. Definitely is. Frog saying Wolves have won 5 on the bounce. Last time we did that was 2006. Potter system, my arsehole. Yeah.
We still can't even win 2 on the bounce, so it's okay.
But excuse me. But this is the thing, yeah. I mean, Wolves, yeah, doing well. I do like their manager. He's there's something about him. He's got that. Odegaard I've just seen the replay of this goal. So not only did he kind of chip Raya, and it clipped off the crossbar to go in for the goal, but he also mugged off Odegaard as well. That's even better. Even better to see that. Right, sir. So, who's Man United got the weekend? Because obviously, we've got Brighton.
Bournemouth away on Sunday.
Oof.
Tough game.
It definitely is.
Maybe we'll never win a game again in the Premier League. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we're sort of past the point of being relegated, so I think they'll shamelessly say, "Well, I suppose we can just go all out in the Europa League and just rotate and play weak squads in the Premier League." Well, I mean, it would be tremendously bad to be finishing in 17th place because you do lose about £3 million per position in terms of Premier League earnings. So, I mean, imagine that. Man United finished 17th, fourth from bottom, no Europa League, no trophies, no competition earnings. Literally the minimum amount of money without getting relegated. And they're talking about rebuilding. Yeah, that amount of chance that's gonna work out.
Yeah, it don't doesn't sound good, is it? That's for sure.
Mm.
Ravi's asking the question: you going to volunteer to help build United's new stadium?
No, because I'd recommend building it out of paper, and Surgeon Ratcliffe will blow a fuse, a burst a blood vessel from realising how much it would cost. Literally, the only stadium that United can afford to build without Surgeon Ratcliffe having an aneurysm would be a Thought Stadium. Literally, or one of them, the mini cardboard ones, which you sort of build together. Together. Look at this little Old Trafford. Oh, yes, that's going to be the stadium. Stick it down out in the car park. Whilst it's pouring it down with rain, you just see this sorry stadium thing just sort of slowly disintegrating in the rain. You're like, this feels familiar. Oh, there's another leak in the roof again.
Another again, yeah. Food for thought, as they're saying. Food for thought. Arsenal Manic saying, yeah, Odegaard is the softest player. He does nothing with conviction. He had a fucking free kick and he chipped it to the keeper's hands.
It's the sort of person that would apologise from walking through a door and somebody was walking the other way. They'll walk through a door, it's open and everything, and this person's like, comes through, and it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I mean, I've said it, and I've said it more than one time. And that, for me, Odegaard, it's always been bang average. And yeah, he's got some, he can do a couple of good passes, but he's too tippy-tappy football in there, and he's just, he's
glorified players.
Absolutely, as I said, he's regressed for sure. He's not had the greatest of season, even with the injury. He still had, somewhat. He's also saying Odegaard, AKO Bambi. Matt saying, Frog saying, is there anyone in the squad that should be playing instead of Odegaard, or is he just keeping his spit because he's captain? This is a thing for me as well, Frog. I mean, Partey. I think he was injured. I think he couldn't feature in this game, because his form has been pretty good. But again, it's a case of no doubt Rice has had to pick up the pieces and cover the work that he does. So this is the problem. But yeah, is there anyone else? I mean, Havertz has gone off the ball. Well, he's actually gone off the radar.
Rice, maybe.
That's about it. But he's already on the pitch though, so who else can go with him? Partey's probably the only obvious choice at this stage. Big up Lee to the Arsenal Alliance. Again, if you don't get the chance to, go share, like, and subscribe to Lee's channel. Good guy as well. Lee, can't be happy with that result, mate, can you? That's for sure. Cannot be happy with that. Yeah. Matt saying Levy might say Spurs don't deserve a transfer fund for next season after this season's nonsense. He does it all the time. That's the problem.
What Levy will try and do is he'll try and get Spurs to spend more money to get further away from trophies. It's like you learn something new with Isaac Newton, and you learn something new with that other guy in the wheelchair. That sounds like a robot. Stephen Hawking is his name. You learn something new with my philosophy. The more you spend, the further away from
Very same Fuzzy O'Learis, never change your opinions. Absolutely. Why should he? Why should he? Matt saying, build the stadium with modelling clay and super glue.
Nah, some rowdy bunch would probably end up snapping half of the foundation tile. Just like, oh, the roof foundation's gone. Oh, look, the roof's collapsing. Great.
Look good. Ryan saying Ranieri in the 10. I mean, look, he came on in the end, did he? Came on in the end, Ryan. But I don't know. Arteta for you. You just don't know what that bloke's going through sometimes. Ranieri should be given more of a chance, but as soon as Saka was back, we knew full well he'd be down the pecking order again. But yeah, it would be a bad shout on that one, I must admit. I'm not sure Odegaard was the right choice of captain. He's never captain material, that's for sure. Never captain material. Arsenal said, would you ever go on a cruise if Odegaard was the captain? Depends if he was on the Costa Concordia, and yeah, possibly.
No.
Let him ever go to the Woolwich Ferry, and he'll probably crash that.
To be fair, he probably would sink. It's still like docked in the port.
Yeah.
It's like if he drives a car, he'd crash a parked car.
Ethan should play over Odegaard much better. Totally agree on that. Pepsi saying nothing more than a training session tonight. Well, this is the thing. I mean, if he's kind of playing all his interest into the Champions League, you can understand that, Pepsi. But at least if he's kind of realised there's no chance of catching up Liverpool and he's not going to win the Premier League again, then Champions League is the next best thing. Arsenal Manic saying, honestly, I'm not bothered, just fed up with it. We still have the UCL. You still got that. You got something, haven't you, at least? Frog saying Pepsi maybe, but Odegaard looks like he is permanently in a training session. True. Ryan saying, yeah, Arsenal's captain should be Gabriel or Rice, in my opinion. Definitely not Odegaard. Rice. You know, and I'm not just saying because he was our player, but he is. Gabriel, unfortunately, not bad as a defender, but nah, not captain for me, material for me. Matt's saying Levy will go if they get relegated next season. Same with Sullivan. Oh, we can only hope, mate. We can only hope.
But once you get rid of
that wasn't me, mate. That was Arsenal Lions, different person. My bad.
Once you get rid of Levy, guess what? You man got Vinay.
Lee's saying for the Arsenal Lions, great name change. I did the same thing for the same reason. Absolutely. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Hope you're keeping well as well, Lee. Ravi saying, I've heard a funny Arsenal song in the style of Let It Be. When I find myself in injury trouble, a young Ranieri comes to me, scoring goals at only 17. Oh, dear me. Is that what they've got to offer?
Shame.
The shame. Right, mate, we're coming up to an hour and 50 minutes near enough. And let's see, they're just got the last couple of comments before we go. Scans, Wilk, Ravi. Take care, lads. Arsenal Manic saying, take care of yourself, mate. Thanks for being with us as always. Appreciate that. You're saying frog, isn't it? So, yourself, Fuzz, what you got coming up?
Wow. Completely seemingly blanked the Wolves game. Judging by how that game went, I'm kind of glad that I was ill for it, so I didn't have to make content that was completely pointless. But guess I'll have to start doing stuff again for Bournemouth this weekend on Sunday, so probably do that. Probably not tomorrow, but Friday. Do that on Friday, and then maybe something for Saturday before the game on Sunday. So yeah, a few bits and bobs to come up, definitely.
Sounds good to me, mate. Yeah, I mean, obviously tomorrow I'll be on with Budgie with the West Ham review. That should be a quite interesting one. What we'll be talking about.
And Anthony will still be stuck in the loading screen as well.
Still trying to work out Chrome. Why is it not working? Chrome. Got to follow the instructions, but no. People in the chat, thanks for hanging around with us as always. Don't forget, Make sure you go over to Fuzzy's channel as well. Share, like, and subscribe to them as well. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Hope you all get to enjoy the show. And Ravi's saying, quality show, guys. Respect to you as well, Ravi, as always. Appreciate the comments and stuff.
Hopefully I can get rid of this bloody cold as well.
It hangs around like a pair of suitcases, mate. It doesn't go straight away. Doesn't it?
Yeah, hangs around like a genital wart.
Like a genital wart. Jeez. Ryan, appreciate you being in as well, mate. It's been a long time. Hope you're keeping well, and thanks for being with us. Take care, Legs. Take care of yourself as well. And yeah, we're gonna finish up the stream. And Ravi just saying before we go, keeps referring to get on there. Frog saying, cheers, guys. Get well, Fuzzy. Thanks, Frog. Appreciate it as well.
Thank you.
And I did see the last one there from Ravi. Fuzzy, do you ever do non-football streams?
Wow. I do have a Twitch account which I used to do gaming streams on. But yeah, I don't really do gaming streams at the moment. Hang around like the Glazers, yeah. Facts. Unwanted, hated, and leeching off of money, whereas the cold leeches off of my well-being, so it sucks.
Excuse me. But yes, of course. But thanks for hanging around with us, people, and that. And like I said, we'll say good night to yourselves. Have a good evening, and we are finished. Thank you very much for being with us, Fuzzy. Thanks again.
Yeah.